an essay. You make sure you summarize the overview, then you have to also attach your personal voice of views or any aspects of the subject matter. So this personal views you can start by saying, in my own observation as a scholar of discipline, I think maybe the causes of poverty in a sub-Saharan region could be attributed to A, B, C, and D. However, this is what we can do to sort out or to handle or to solve such kind of phenomenon. So you find ways of adding your personal voice in the conclusion. It always works like magic. So there you go, use the IBEC model to write an excellent essay. And then another strategy which I normally use model, it's called the FATIA model. And F stands for fast, being fast writing. Remember, you have 4 questions, you have 3 hours. The faster you write, that means the more points you're going to write and the better for you. And also you can catch up with them. And then 2, you have to be articulate. Articulate means you have to give brief explanations yet on point. Make sure you're not beating around the bush. Make sure you're not giving a lot of explanations and you are just sorting up without making someone realize of what you are trying to communicate. In other words, be on point. And then 3, you have to be tactical enough. And tactical, I always emphasize this one. Make sure your work is well spaced. Try your level best handwriting, irrespective of the book that you're writing so fast. And then 3, you have to be unique in the way you communicate or the way you write. So make sure you are tactical enough. And then also be interactive or interesting and captivating in your language. Use phrases like, can you imagine? Use phrases like, those mind captivating phrases where someone is going to read an essay and they're like, wow, I'm in love with this essay. So those are kind of the phrases which you should be using when you're writing your essays. And then lastly, the essence for accuracy. And being accurate, one, you have to be accurate on facts. It is so bad when I'm marking papers and someone is not accurate on facts. And then 2 things involved here. Personalities in terms of the names of the authors, or the names of the persons who have initiated certain theories and all that, and all the years. So make sure if you are giving less statistics, they have to be on point. You don't have to guess, you don't have to forge. Once you're not accurate on those statistics, someone might do a background check. And if they find out that you are not right, my dear friend, they are going to mess you up in terms of marking. You know that? Yeah, so you can use this FATIA model to make sure you improve on how you write. And then how do you quickly remember? Because I normally hear students saying, man, every time I reach the paper, my points just like that. I can't remember anything. Before I could remember like 20 points, now I have 5. What happens? Am I having a partial memory loss? It's not a partial memory loss, my friend. Maybe you've not devised the means on how to remember so fast. So here is an AC model for you on how you can easily memorize and remember your points. A will stand for acronyms. You can memorize acronyms or just get the initials of the points, summarize them in acronyms like A, B, C, D, and then you can know A is maybe for adequate funding, B maybe it's for being aggressive, and C maybe it's for another thing. And then that always helps. And then 2, you can also use the chronology. And the chronology, most especially when you're discussing events, maybe like years or personalities. So you know, in 1945, maybe UN was formed. So after UN being formed, what happens? What happens in 1946? What happened in 1947? So you can use that kind of chronology for you to remember. I actually most times use chronology when I'm discussing events which involve years and history. That works like magic. And then lastly, you can summarize your points in terms of spheres. And what I mean with that is them: political, social, economic, it may be biological, depending on the discipline and the subject matter you're discussing. I normally use this kind of spheres because I studied social work, and then most of our things can follow under political factors, social factors, economic factors, biological factors, or environmental factors. So I could just write those four spheres and summarize points. Before I know it, I have like 15 points on one question. So if you're there, you don't have any methodology you are using to remember, it might be difficult for you to and remember all of the 18 points at once. But when using these tools in place, then you can easily remember. I know when you apply this, you will thank me later. Good enough, my contacts and email are there. So you can give me a call and say, Daniel, the model which I had you speak of worked, and I will be happy for that. All right, so you have to develop a success formula. And why do you need to develop a success formula? One is because an examination is a calculation. So just say, no, you are dealing with a problem, and this problem is out of 100%. Now, when you're at university, you know that test one you might is equal to 20 marks, test two is equal to 20 marks, that's 40. And then final is 60 marks. In total, that's 100%. So your number one aim as someone who wants to perform well on minimum, and this I mean for you to perform at your worst, so to say, your target should be to get 15 in your test one, to get 15 in your, that will be 30 out of 40, and your target is to get 40 in the final exam. That will be 70. Now 70 is a B, which is not good, but not bad. It is not good, but not bad, because good grades start from 75. 75, yeah, there we are talking something. 80s, excellent. There you are, and a student like Daniel Moiti and so many others out there who are excellent students. So you need to focus and know that you start aiming at getting 70 as your bare minimum mark. Let your transcript have the lowest as a 70, and when you aim for that, believe me, you're going to, and you're going to turn around how you have been performing. So you have to know that in test one, you do 2 questions and each question is out of 10 marks. Now, if you're targeting for 10 marks, that means that one question or 2 questions you're doing, you need so many points for you to achieve that. That's why I hate lazy students like writing very puny or tiny or little content in a paper. And I'm like, really? With that big head of yours, which has matter, which God trusted and gave it to you, you are writing only 5 points, and you're like, I am exhausted. Well, when I'm marking you, I will also give you 20 marks because you'll be exhausted so fast. I enjoy this. Okay. So, secondly, you have to know that test 2 has also 2 numbers and it's marked out of 20. So those carry 10 marks each, and you have to also pay attention. Now, test 1 might be a coursework. When it comes to coursework, there are dynamics you have to do in order for you to perform so well or to attend some good marks in coursework. Things like citations, things like referencing, things like doing a lot of research here and there, attaching statistics that can help you work out. You can give me a call and I can advise you on how to go about that. And then the final exam, if you're doing undergrad, the principle is you do 4 questions and each question is out of 15 marks. Now, even sometimes masters, they might do 4 questions, but then the standard is they do 3 questions, whereby each question is out of 20 marks. Now, if it's 20 marks each question, that means you need like around 17 or 18 points, although around 22 points. So to say, myself, I might be writing around 25 points because I end up writing 2 booklets paper. Yeah, that's how I do it. I enjoy it that way. Now, if you are not that level, my friend, you might just start getting interested in how to work smart. And how to work smart, you need a lot of efforts. That's why I write a lot in exams, because I know I have to put in. That means I have to also so I get good grades, and I used to do that. So there you go. You know that now once you perform like that, and the total mark will be out of 100%. That means that that 1 point you might leave out, one question you might poorly attempt to, it can contribute to either your success or your failure, to either your great performance or exceptional performance, or to a poor performance. And that will affect your life, because you are going to live with a time brand of your CGPA or of your final mark. So just know that your final mark is going to attach to your name forever. As long as you live, you will get attached to that. All right, so what should you do then? Right now, have this in mind. One, embrace and develop your success formula. Develop it. Know how best can you pass. Have a formula into play. And then two, have a good relationship between you and your teachers. I find it so funny when you as a student, you try to beef your lecturers, you try to beef your teachers. They are going to determine what you're going to get. And let me tell you, most times people mark with emotions. I know most of my students, I know like 95% of my students, each one individually. So I will know if this one is a bad guy, if this one gives headache, if this one makes me happy, if this one. So just imagine your paper with a good vibe, with a positive vibe. I'm like, yeah, this person, she lights up the room, or he lights up the room. This is an intelligent guy. And then this one, Amy, bad energy, always having issues. So that will also determine on how you perform. A relationship with your teachers matters. And then three, you need to pray. You need to pray. You need to pray for favor. After writing an exam, please, please, please pray for favor on your paper, because you pray that may God make sure that the lecturer who is marking that is in a good vibe, is in a good mood, is sober, is at his best, because anything might happen and then you get bad grade. And then lastly, you have to reflect. After every paper, ask yourself, what could I do better? How can I improve next time? Because it's only through reflections that you can know your mistakes, and then you try to learn and learn and relearn the good traits. All right, so one task which I have for you today is develop your implementation plan on how to execute about the nuggets I have given you. May God bless you, and I wish you success and excellence in your exams. My name is Daniel Moiti. God bless you. Bye for now.